Welcome back to the Heroes Table. Today we're talking with Dylan of dchtoons.
So today we are here with Dylan, and before you do anything, this is the career couch. I'm going to try and guess, without you telling me anything, what your career is. I think you design and sell stickers.
Yeah.
See, look at this. I don't even need a ladder. Okay, some people need a ladder and they need to ask a few questions. I am just good to go. All right? So, Dylan, after all of this nonsense, would you like to give us a 1-minute elevator pitch about yourself?
I guess I could say that I design stickers. The stickers are waterproof. When you paste them on any smooth surface like your laptop, water bottle, and remove them, there's no sticky residue. I work with brands as well through collaborations. And I want people to be able to enjoy art in a way that's accessible. That's why I also chose stickers because they are generally a little bit more affordable.
I love that. I guess my first question then would be, where did this all begin? Have you always had a inkling for drawing, doodling? Where did it all start for you?
I think it started when I was in primary school. So that was when I actually really doodled a lot because I was doodling on all of my homework. So I think one of my most memorable experiences during my time in primary school is doodling on my math homework.
Oh,
So every math worksheet, I would draw comics or doodles at the corner of the page. And then my math teacher would praise me every time that I submitted the homework. And on those days where I didn't doodle, he would ask me, "Hey, Dylan, where's the doodle?" So it kind of helped me accountable to do the math homework and
and the
doodle. So
doodle.
it's worked on both ways.
This is like extra credit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still connected with him.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
so recently I went back to the primary school and I gave a talk to the students also, and I caught up with the teacher. So
Oh, that's fantastic. Honestly, and if you're a teacher and you're listening to this, please be that type of teacher. You know, as long as he's doing his math, please encourage the doodling as well. Okay. Was there anything that inspired you to doodle, or was it just an expression that just came out? Did you have anything in particular you would normally doodle?
doodles in general, it's really just whatever's in my mind, put on paper, put on the screen. But in terms of the sticker designs, those definitely have to be a little bit more intentional. So I think drawing for yourself and drawing for your business is two separate things. You can really draw whatever you want when it's for yourself, but for the sticker business, there's a little guidelines that I keep myself accountable to. Like the style has to be consistent, and I like to keep puns and motivational in the designs. So yeah, I think how I come up with those designs is a lot of it came from humor from social media and memes and all that. So
Okay.
it's very Gen Z kind
Yeah,
of
I
humor.
see. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. And I would think of the illustrations after I think of the puns. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to work.
Yeah. So I think of the words first, like the puns, and then I'm thinking, okay, what illustration can complement? Like, for example, this one here. It's like a pizza one. We're having pizza. I thought of the pun. You stole a piece of my heart. And then of course, pizza, I have to draw pizza, and you see the little pepperoni slices are heart-shaped
They're
also.
heart-shaped eyes.
Yeah. So yeah.
I will bring it closer. You can see, right? They're like heart-shaped eyes.
That's basically my thought process for every sticker.
That's great. Yeah, I noticed that there is this consistency of style. Like I can recognize they're your stickers and everything.
you, yeah.
Like when you look at it and it's like, this looks like it's in the same family. But I like that, and keeping them consistent is, I think, key.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it feels like your brand. I guess another question, back to when you were actually younger and you started doodling, was there any templates or things that you used to use or like that was your inspiration for wanting to draw and maybe do cartoons?
Kind of had one actually. Okay, I always drew comics.
Okay.
So comics were in a way like my template. But
Ah.
in terms of the character, my brother taught me how to draw like his version of himself as a cartoon character.
Oh
Then I
my
just-
gosh.
And it's like me and my brother, we kind of looked alike like back then, like as kids. So
Sure.
I'm like, hey, this kind of like applies to me also. And then I just drew the exact same character.
Oh,
Kind of
okay.
like copied my brother in the way he drew that character. And I implemented that character in all of the characters in all the comics. So
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Was your brother older?
yeah, he's 6 years older.
Ah, no wonder. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very brother thing to do, actually.
Yeah, my brother like doodled a lot also. Yeah,
Uh,
so yeah, I learned
does-
a lot.
does-
I didn't start off as a creative though. Right, I started off as an athlete. So
Athlete.
I was a national Taekwondo athlete, and I joined the national team, like the youth team, when I was 15 years old. When I was like picking my diploma after O levels, I chose sports science to like complement my athlete journey.
Are you still studying sports science?
No, so after I completed the first year in sports science, I was already doing like freelance graphic design. So I was like dabbling into the creative scene.
Okay.
And then I realized, wait, actually, I don't want to study sports science. I want to do like creative work. So yeah, I had to like switch schools. So I
Okay.
switched to LaSalle College of the Arts.
Ah, very nice. Okay, then my question before all of that,
Mm.
you're doing the doodles. Did you just continue to do the comics, do the doodles, do the drawing? Is it something that you just maintained for a long time? Or did you have a period in time where you maybe weren't doing it and then you came back and picked it back up? Anything like that? Or
Something like that. So my first year of dchtoons, I started off doing comics at first. Now I don't really do comics, but
Mm,
in my first year of dchtoons, I was doing a lot of vector-based illustrations.
Oh,
So not
okay.
really hand-drawn like now. So
Sure.
I was using like Adobe Illustrator, drawing with the pen tool and with shapes and all that.
Interesting.
And yeah, those like were comics based on my now current mascot, Boba the hamster.
Aw.
And I would say like the illustration style is a little bit different because even those are also considered line art like this, it wasn't like hand-drawn. So there's like a different kind of feel to it. Those were maybe a bit more geometric. This one is like a little bit more fluid. Yeah, it's a bit different.
Could you tell me a bit more? The hamster, Boba the hamster, right?
Yeah.
He was the main character in these comics.
Yes, correct.
What was the comic about?
So,
Is he time traveling hamster?
oh
or-
no. It was a
But-
lot of like humor, and some of it is like dark humor also.
That's good.
So first comic is related to why it's called Boba the hamster. So Boba like bubble tea, Boba.
Mm.
And the first comic was a very simple 4-panel comic.
Mm.
And it was basically Boba wanting to get bubble tea.
Aw,
It's just a
okay.
really simple one.
I see. So were they majority like the four?
Yeah, they were all 4-panel.
Oh, okay.
Just for like social media. There was a period of time when that was trendy also.
Yes, it was very trendy.
Yeah.
Like, so when you first started out, it was these 4-panel comics.
Yeah.
What is it that changed in you? Did you go to like one panel comics, or did you just go straight to the stickers? Was there some middle ground there or something that helped you evolve?
I think it was when I started seeing other comic artists. They make comic, like 4-panel comics with the swiping carousel pose. And when you swipe to the end, you would see their little merchandise shop where you could get merchandise based on their comic book characters.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw other comic artists doing that, it kind of like gave me the idea, oh wait, I can actually like create merchandise. So that was when I started to extract my characters from these comics and actually hop onto those print-on-demand platforms.
That's great,
Yeah.
though. That's wonderful.
And I think at the start, I was like really exploring different kinds of merchandise. I was putting my characters on like t-shirts, mugs, all that because it's print-on-demand, right?
Yeah, you can do it all over.
Yeah. But then,
As long as you have the template, right?
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, after a while, I wanted to kind of have my own product. So stickers were the most cost-friendly option compared to like t-shirts, mugs, caps. Stickers were more affordable to make. So that's why I chose like, okay, you know what, let me just start off with stickers.
Yeah.
But gradually I just kept doing stickers and I became more known for it. So I just stuck to stickers.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that was one of my questions for you too, is how you got into stickers, because there's t-shirts, there's all of these other things. Are you now considering to do some t-shirts and things like that still, or just maintain the sticker crowd?
I would definitely always stick to like being the sticker guy.
He's gonna stick to the stickers, okay, guys?
Yes, I'll stick to being the sticker guy. But I do see like my art in like other forms of merchandise, and they usually take that form through like collaborations with brands that are already in that, you know, kind of industry. So I have worked with like some brands to like design like a t-shirt, like for example, the Ellie bubble tea. Like we worked on like a collaboration t-shirt. I've worked with other brands, some that are like upcoming launches that are also taking like another form of like not just stickers.
You were saying that you were in college and you were sports and science.
Yeah.
But then you were doing freelancing on the side.
Yes.
What kind of freelancing were you doing, and what did that look like?
So my very first freelance job was actually Photoshop services.
Really?
And that was before AI was a thing. So whenever someone wanted to like alter an image, like maybe really simple stuff like, oh yeah, have a photo, you have a portrait, you have a pimple, you want to like remove the pimple, you couldn't ask AI to do it. You had to manually do it. And not everyone had the skill or the software to do it. So because I was dabbling into Photoshop, I got the software and then I kind of offered that service, and I used the platform Carousel. Yeah, I usually use for secondhand goods. I think I also kind of entered the freelance services market at a good time, because when I was 16, I offered the Photoshop services after my O-levels. And that was also around the time Carousel started to launch their services category. Yeah. So I was one of the early onboarders for the Photoshop services. And that also gave me the like competitive edge against other listings.
Right.
So I like kept at it doing Photoshop services. And because I had the Photoshop software, I found out that, oh, people actually do professional graphic design with this software. So in my mind, I was thinking, oh, I'm already paying for this software, might as well make full use of it. So I went to self-study graphic design and gradually branding also, all from YouTube, LinkedIn Learning, and all those platforms. And that kind of transition from Photoshop services to graphic design / branding services. And it was only about 2 years of doing it that I decided to go to design school.
Interesting. Okay. I guess it was something that you liked and you enjoyed then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's normally not just the pay, but
Yeah, it was
you were
something that I
having fun.
genuinely enjoyed. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. When you changed to LaSalle, what did your parents think?
When I was 3/4 into my first year of studying sports science, I told my parents about this idea of wanting to switch schools. Of course, they were a little like shocked, because it's not common for you to like change your course of study.
Okay.
So of course they were a little cautious, and they asked me to like, no, rethink it. Is this really a decision that you want to make? But I think ultimately, because I was already doing freelance graphic design services, they saw that it could, you know, bring in income.
Okay.
So they saw that, okay, this is like, at least you're doing it already. You're not like just freshly going into graphic design.
Right.
You already got some experience. You kind of see it working out.
Sure.
So they were also quite supportive in me switching schools, but they really insisted on showing me that, oh, you really got to know what you're doing. Yeah, you don't just like switch schools as and when you want.
What do you mean they were insistent about that? Like,
They didn't want me to like make a decision so quick.
but were they giving you like pressures or like little comments?
No one in my family was in the creative scene as much, because my brother, he was still in the army. He wasn't doing photography yet. Yeah, so me wanting to go to like art school was the first look of entering the creative industry. And they
Okay.
didn't know that many people who were in the creative industry.
I see.
So they definitely had the concerns whether you do design, you do art, can make money, that kind of standard questions.
Okay.
But it helped that I was already making money with my freelance graphic design.
Right. You could validate it right
Yeah,
away.
so that's why it kind of relieved a bit of those concerns.
That's good. Yeah, I think that was good validation for
Yeah.
them. And you can show them the money value.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yours is an easier transition than
A little easier
yeah.
because I was already doing it. I think like having that concern is like really valid also because they just want like the best for their kid.
Correct.
And as I was even like exploring the freelance graphic design, part of me always felt like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm making money from this. Why am I still studying sports science? Like in those first 3 quarters of the year,
Sure.
my parents always told me, you gotta do your best in whatever you're doing. So as I'm still doing sports science, I haven't changed my course of study. I gotta do my best in that. So even as I applied to enter LaSalle, I had to wait for the results to come back. It took a few months, and in those few months, internally it felt like really pointless. But like whatever I was studying, whatever tests I was taking in sports science, I was like, what is this for? I'm gonna change schools. But there's always that lingering thought of what if you don't get into the art school?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like
Okay.
if you don't get into art school, then those few months with bad grades would affect you also. Still do your best until it's confirmed you're in the art school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I commend you for giving it your best still, because I know what it feels like when there's no motivation. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do it. Like, yeah.
True. You tell that to my son, please. So when you were transitioning to LaSalle and also still doing your freelancing, you were beginning the sticker business like it was just kind of starting.
It hadn't started yet.
Okay.
When I was 18, I started to do stickers.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was 17, I was still doing the comics.
Right.
Yeah, but it was only when I was 18 that I really turned it into a sticker business.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was like just a few months into LaSalle that I started doing stickers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then when you started doing the stickers, when was there ever a point where it really started to become more consistent? What was it like when you first actually launched those stickers?
So the first few stickers that I launched, they were all on pre-order basis.
Okay.
So I was really afraid to, hold any inventory because what if I spend like maybe $100 and then none of it sell, then I'm like $100 short. So I worked on pre-orders for like, I think the first 2 launches.
Okay.
And a lot of the way I kind of publicized it, I created like a Google Forms and then I sent it to my friends and then I asked them to share it to their friends. Like it's like a very like manual process.
That's really good though.
But I think I managed to get quite a few sales from like family and friends. And whatever money I made from that, I really just saved it up.
Okay.
So after I think like 2 pre-order launches, I was able to save up a few $100s. And I used a portion of that to do my first booth. So my first ever booth, I had to pay, I think like $180 rental for a weekend. And then I also had to hold some inventory so that I could have enough stock in a booth. So that was an upfront investment. And in terms of the materials, I didn't get like a sticker printer or sticker cutter. I worked with a manufacturer.
Okay.
And the reason is I kind of foresaw that like the sticker business would grow into something much bigger that required a manufacturer. And I do know that there's some artists that take the route of having their own sticker machine, sticker cutter. But I was looking at my lifestyle back then also. I was an athlete. I was studying. I didn't have that much time to print and cut the stickers myself. So that's why I worked with a manufacturer right from the start.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think there was a challenge with that though. The manufacturers, they require a minimum order quantity, and most of the local manufacturers start off with 100 pieces. So I had to commit to 100 stickers, but I discussed with the manufacturer and I said, can I put a few designs in that 100 pieces? Like you kind of reduce the order quantity per design, and they're really nice about it. They said, okay. So that was my way of going about it. I made more designs so that I could hit the order quantity.
How did you find them actually?
Actually, they found me because I was doing my freelance graphic design business and they found me on Carousel and they said, let's do a partnership. I'll give you a discount. And then if you have a branding design project and then they need logo stickers. Yeah, so that was my first kind of projects with them, logo stickers. But gradually, as I started looking into like merchandising, I thought, hey, I already have a sticker manufacturer with good rates. So why not just start a sticker business?
Wonderful. So, I mean, I think that also talks to creating good relationships as well. Very important. So the manufacturer, they handle all of the stickers and everything for you. Do you still work with the same manufacturer?
Same manufacturer. So I think I've been working for about, 4 or 5 years already.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So in terms of the stickers and just the sticker sales, because I know that the career ladder was a big pump for you, right? How was it for you when you started doing the stickers up until the career ladder?
The sales definitely come in waves. So at the very start, from like the pre-order times, those I barely got any orders from strangers. It's all from family and friends. I only started getting orders from strangers after I did those in-person booths. So doing those in-person pop-ups was a really good way to reach strangers. And the good thing about getting your first few strangers to purchase is that after a while they might come back and order again.
Yeah.
So in that way, it kind of like gives you recurring customers, and they might also share with their friends who are strangers also. So your crowd can also grow gradually. I promoted it on social media, though early stages I wasn't really active on social media. But gradually I saw the value of posting on social media. I started posting more consistently. Back then it was maybe about 3 times a week. A year later, I wanted to do more content creation to grow my business more, and I started posting every single day. So I posted a reel or TikTok every single day while I was doing those in-person booths. And I think that really helped my business because about a month later, I got my first viral video. And that video was talking about why I offer free delivery on all my stickers for the Singapore orders. And that video alone, maybe paired with a few other videos, it generated 500 orders in that month. And we were already in the middle of that month. And the following month, there was 700 orders.
Wow.
And before all this, I was getting like 5 to 10 orders a month.
Okay.
So it was really a huge jump.
Big jump.
Yeah, that was my first wave of orders that made me feel like, oh, this business is like becoming a bit more real. After that first wave, it stabilized to about 30 to 40 orders a day, like for a few months.
Wow.
So that was still a few hundred orders a month.
Yeah.
And that was way higher than before the wave.
Sure, certainly.
So yeah, after that, it kind of like stabilized at around that number of getting a few hundred orders a month for about another year until I get another viral video that picked up a little bit. And I had a few viral videos along the way.
Wow. Okay. So this continued on for a while, and then you got the chance to be on the career ladder. When you saw it coming, what went off in your mind?
Okay. So I can share like the whole thought process and everything.
I would love that.
So first, I've been following Max, the guy from the career ladder, for a really long time. I've been watching his videos, and he posted a story on Instagram. He took a photo of Chinatown, and that was the day before I went on the career ladder. So I already knew he was in Singapore, and in the back of my mind, I was thinking maybe he'll do an episode in Singapore. Let me keep a lookout. Maybe I could go. The next day, I was actually leaving the house already at about 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I was planning to go to school early to get some work done. but I saw his story and it was like posted 6 minutes ago. So it was like I was the first few to see the story. And the story was basically saying, I'll be at Raffles Place MRT station to do an episode at 11:30 a.m. So I saw it at 10 a.m. and I calculated, oh, if I go right now, I would still have like 15 minutes to spare. So I screenshotted his story and sent it to my sister. I was like, hey, do you think I should go? And she was like, just go lah, just go. And I'm like, okay, let me just go. So instead of going to school to do my work, I went to the career ladder. So it was a little bit of like escaping the work, but in a way it turned out really well.
Yes.
And yeah, I reached Raffles Place MRT at about 11:15 a.m. 15 minutes before he said. He reached 11:30 and I still couldn't find him. Because I think Raffles Place MRT has like exit A and B.
Yeah.
And he didn't mention which exit. So I was like walking in circles, looking for some ladder, you know. But soon it was 11:50 a.m. and I still couldn't find him. So I was thinking maybe I missed the chance. There's probably a lot of people there already. But before I left and just go to school, I tried to DM him on Instagram and he had like millions of followers. I wasn't even expecting him to reply. But I just asked him which part of Raffles Place is at if he sees the message. And he actually replied in like 5 seconds, like instant reply. And he said, I'm reaching, something like that. So he was just a little bit late.
Wow.
Yeah. He reached at 12 p.m. So I was like in there and I saw him come in at 12 p.m. I didn't want to approach him yet because he was still setting up. I was just looking from far. I videoed everything.
That's so cute.
At like 12:05, the ladder was up. Videographers were like kind of ready. So I went up to him first and then I asked him, hi Max, can I go on the career ladder? And he asked me to share what I did without spoiling it. So on the way there and on the MRT, I was already planning like, what should I tell him? And it helped that I bring stickers with me everywhere I go. So I already had some stickers in my pocket that I could give to him. So I was thinking, okay, my opening line would be, I create something that fits in your pocket. Yeah. So he doesn't give away stickers, but it was already in my pocket so that I could give it to him. So I told him that and he said, okay, that's good. When we're done setting up, I just want you to run into frame and say something in Singlish. So that was the only kind of planned part. But I think it's valid because you gotta be like intentional with the hooks. Like if you do content creation, you would know.
Wow. That is amazing. It's like the serendipity in a way and just that he responded with millions of followers.
Yeah.
And because you were about to leave.
Yeah.
You were like thinking, that's it. I missed it. And again, everybody who's listening to this podcast, inspired action. Don't think about it a lot of times. Just do. Even if it doesn't work, if it does work, it's fantastic. So, I mean, you were just really close. Did he guess what you...
No, ended up he didn't actually guess what it was. I think
Okay.
he got quite close. He started guessing magnets and like
Magnets.
yeah, all that. But he didn't guess stickers.
Stickers. Okay, so after the career ladder, it gave you quite a lot more visibility as well.
Definitely,
Right after
yeah.
that. Okay. So do you want to share a little bit about that?
Okay.
Your experience?
So prior to the career ladder, in terms of the followers, on Instagram, I was at 28.8k followers.
Okay.
Which was quite okay already
That's
because
good.
I've been doing the business for a while. I've been really strong on content creation.
Yeah.
But in just about a month later, it shot up to right now it's like I think 68 or something, 68k, something like that.
It's more than double.
Almost tripled.
Almost
Almost
triple.
tripled, yeah.
Wow.
And then that's for Instagram. TikTok was even crazier because I think he has more following on TikTok.
Oh,
So
okay.
my TikTok had always been at 5 to 6k for the longest time. I found it a little bit challenging to grow on that platform, but I was still posting every day. And it shot up to like 70 plus k right now. So it's more than my Instagram right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So it was like 6 to 7.
Incredible. Oh, okay. So how did you feel? Is it just you wake up one day and then you see you have hundreds, thousands of notifications?
I think it wasn't so instant because it there's like a buffer. So I went on a ladder on like a Friday, and then the next Friday then the video was posted. So in that
Oh,
1 week
okay.
leading up to the video being posted, I want to keep it a surprise also. So it was still like normal. He posted it at like 3 a.m. I was already
Asleep.
asleep. Yeah. So when I woke up, I was so shocked because like leading up to that Friday that it was posted, I knew that it has to be posted at some point, right? I hope it was because he
Yeah.
doesn't post every single person that goes on the ladder.
Oh,
So
okay.
because a lot of people go on the ladder, he can't possibly post everybody.
So there's a chance you,
That I-
even after all of that, you might not have made it on there.
Yes, correct. But I just wanted to be on the ladder because I've been like a follower for so long. I just found it kind of cool, and I wanted to give him my stickers. Yeah. But yeah, when I was thinking maybe it'll be posted, so I was always on the lookout for it every single day. And 1 week later, when I woke up, I saw my phone full of notifications, and I was like, "Eh, wait, has it been posted?" So I went to check, and it indeed was posted. It already had so many likes and so many people like tagging me. Hey, that's at
Hey,
dchtoons.
oh
Yeah.
man.
Then I definitely had to comment it, and then
Mhm.
he pinned my comment. Then it drove more traffic and more followers, more sales.
Wow, that's great. So I'm guessing it felt incredible. Like,
Really incredible. Like
uh,
super thankful.
wow, that's really good. But I mean, again, you're the one who took that inspired action. Like, you had things to do that day, but you saw that opportunity and you just went for it. Even with that small window of time, you went and did that. And I commend you because a lot of times in business and in life, I feel the big changes can happen like this.
Mm,
And it's actually just taking that chance,
yeah.
even when things might not work out. So with that pump, and like you said, almost tripled, and for your TikTok, it was a significant jump.
More than 10 times. Yeah.
More than 10 times. I know it's
Wow.
10xing more than that. But taking that big leap and everything, it puts you into a different sphere, in terms of being a creator,
Mm,
because now it's like roughly you have 100 and what is it, 30,000 followers if you combine the two accounts, right?
yeah, around there.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's not a small number. That's quite a big impact. How did you take to that? Did you have any changes, or was it just because you already had 30K followers almost? It was like,
Mm,
I'm used to this, or what was it like for you?
I think in terms of like lifestyle and like daily experiences, there wasn't much change
Okay.
because I was still going about working on projects. Like I was already experienced working with brands and everything.
Okay.
So when the new brands like started to come in, it's just basically more brands.
Yeah, just
But
more brands.
I still have to like choose which brands to take on and everything.
Mm,
But I guess the major difference would be getting more like getting recognized more in public.
yeah.
So when I was at 28K followers on Instagram, I think I got recognized maybe like once in a while, like
Okay.
once every few weeks maybe.
Sure.
But now recently it's almost every day.
Wow.
And recently I just went for a trip to KL and I also got recognized every day there. So it was
Really?
really insane because majority of my audience is from Singapore, and the chance of meeting a follower, a supporter in KL, it's like, what a small world.
That's wonderful. That's really great. And how do you take to that where it's people are recognizing you almost every day? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think I definitely try not to let it like get into my head and everything because I don't want to be a proud dude.
Understood.
I want to be relatable. I want to be down to earth. I want to be humble because I'm inspired by a lot of like large, big creators in Singapore and other countries, and a lot of them are actually like really helpful, especially even as I first like reached out to them via DM asking them, oh, how do you go about doing this? They were really nice to reply. So I tried to carry it forward because they were really like really humble and nice, bigger creators. So now that I've grown to this following, I try to do the same.
That's wonderful.
It also helps that I'm a Christian also.
Mm.
So there's like values of being a Christian. There's like you gotta be humble and everything. So my family also holds me accountable. As soon as I get like a big opportunity with like a brand or something, I get a lot of sales and they see me like all happy and everything. They say, remember, don't be too proud, like they always try to like keep me grounded and all that. So I think definitely like family also playing a role into that.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I can see that. And I think it's part of your brand too. You seem very jolly, you seem very fun. And yeah, it would probably be a little weird as well because you do a lot of humorous stickers. If like I were to meet you and you're like, get away from me. Like
Yeah.
so it's very on brand and I'm
Yep.
glad. But as and I'm gonna sound very old. I was born in the 1980s. Okay. That was way back in the day, you know. I've watched a lot of content creators and I've watched a lot of things because I was there when social media was born. I think for a lot of young folks, the ones who really are very successful in it can go forward with that sort of stability. It's just knowing that you're still you. At the end of the day, we are all human, you know, and I think that that can carry you forward even further. And yeah, and if you feel like you have to be something or someone, then I think it's more difficult to carry it
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. If you're always putting up a front, like maybe like a social media personality, it's really different from how you normally live your life.
Yeah.
I think it's really tiring.
So when you're doing these collaborations, how do you deal with IP, you know, protecting yourself, and how do you know what would be a good collaboration or not? Or, you know, are you drawn to certain types of things more than others?
I think starting off a project early on, I took up a lot of collaborations that were more towards the freelance nature. So there wasn't like much co-branding involved. It was in my illustration style, but the only brand that was displayed was the client's brand, not my brand. Taking on those projects earlier on gave me the experience of working with a client.
Sure.
But gradually, as I took on more projects, I saw the value of doing co-branding because I need to be acknowledged for my work as well. And behind the scenes, I'm also like working on my business. There's a lot of work to grow my brand's reputation. And because I've been able to grow it to like a rather influential level, brands that work with me are able to see this as, oh, it's like a value add if this artist has its own like audience and everything. So gradually I started pushing to only accept collaborations that offer co-branding where we feature it as like the client X dchtoons.
You make it seem like it's so easy, but in a way,
It's not.
yeah, it's not. You make it
Yeah.
sound easy, but it seems like you had a lot of learning experiences along the way, and they just kind of built on each other.
Yeah, I think I could like further elaborate on what some of those learning experiences look
I
like.
would love to hear that.
When I started out doing all these like freelance graphic design services, I didn't know every clause, every terms and conditions that I had to include. I could only like maybe Google and ask friends like, what should I add into this clause and terms and conditions? And ultimately I wanted to ensure that all these terms and conditions like kind of protected me also, because let's say the client wants more revisions.
Yeah.
If I don't like set a limit to maybe like 3 rounds of revisions, then it will be like a never ending cycle of work. My first few projects, I didn't have that clause of, oh, there's 3 rounds of revisions. And yeah, I had to learn it the hard way by just accepting the revisions and doing it. It was only in the subsequent projects that I added that clause, and it reached a point where I kind of covered most of the touch points already, and I kind of have like a somewhat foolproof kind of clause and terms and conditions. But who knows, maybe I'll run into another one and then I have to like, tweak it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's part of learning. Like I've done freelance writing, and seriously, people will take you for a ride if
Yeah.
you don't put how many revisions, how much you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many retailer partners do you have at the moment, or collaborations too?
Okay. There's Surrey Hills Grocer
Yeah.
there's like a Australian restaurant slash grocer.
I saw that one.
That was like the most recent retailer that I just worked with. I'm in 5 locations, so they have 5 outlets in Singapore. I'm in all 5.
Hmm.
And I'm also working with the Alley Bubble Tea. So they have quite a number of outlets, but they have offered me 4 of their locations. So I'm in 9 in total. I'm also working with the Science Center, like the Science Center Curiosity Gift Shop.
Okay.
So I have my sticker stand right there also. So that makes a 10th location. And I think I'm in 2 more. So one would be at Plaza Singapura, Coldplay.
Okay.
So that one, it's kind of like a little pop-up with 2 of my other artist friends. We're like sharing rental for a small space.
Oh, okay.
And there's one more, which is one of my longest retail partners, which is at Haji Lane Hengbox Supplies.
Okay.
So I think they were my first consignment. And yeah, I've been just holding on to that partnership until now.
Oh, that's great. This brought up one other question that I'm curious to know. In all of this and you building these businesses and everything, were there any skills in the past that aren't particularly related to, like you were saying how you're studying science and sports? Are any of those skills things that you found to be valuable in your business running now, like things that you didn't quite expect? And it's like, oh, this has come up and this has been something that's helped me a lot.
I think it's more about knowing how to hold a conversation, like all these kind of soft skills, because a lot of business opportunities happen from like the conversations.
Correct.
Yeah. So, for example, the opportunity with the Science Center, that whole opportunity more or less happened from a conversation at a booth that I had. It was a People's Association booth, and some of the Science Center full-timers, they are also volunteers with the People's Association.
Okay.
So they were there doing like volunteer work, and they came across my booth and they said, hey, actually, I think your items are like quite suitable to be in their Science Center gift shop. So it was then that I drafted out a proposal and then I sent it to them. And after a month, they approved it. And then it was in discussion to like move into it.
Nice. I do have another question because I think running a business and starting your own business takes a lot of perseverance, it takes a lot of strength, and it takes that mental fortitude. You were telling me that you were into sports before this and you were an athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Do you find that any of that is something that has translated well into what you're doing?
I think being an athlete definitely helped me to have that kind of like mental fortitude, like you said. I was doing Taekwondo since I was 7. I joined the national youth team at 15, and I only left the sport at 20, which was just last year. So, yeah, I've been in sport for 13 years, and ever since I joined the national youth team at 15 and gradually transitioned to the national team, there was training every single day except for Sundays. So it was training 6 days a week, and I'm pretty sure I didn't miss a single day of training. And during competition seasons or leading up to it, a few months before, there would be training 3 times a day, every day.
Wow.
Okay.
And
So like having training 3 times a day while balancing school and all that is really a lot.
yeah.
At that time, I wasn't really like running this business yet. It was still like a side hustle. But I was already kind of used to managing something outside of school that required a large time commitment.
Wow.
So when I stopped doing Taekwondo, it was almost like this business was my sport.
Interesting. That's a good perspective.
There's other values of doing a sport aside from time management. I think it also taught me to sometimes just do things even though you don't want to do it.
Right.
Like,
get over your fear.
Yeah, correct. And not just that, that's one thing. Another thing is sometimes emotionally you don't feel like doing it, but responsibility wise you gotta do it. So let's say you want to go for the competition, but you need to lose weight to hit the weight category. That itself has a lot of discipline in terms of the diet. So it's like I don't want to go on a diet. I don't want to have to train until I sweat out a lot of water, but I have to do it because I want to go for the competition. And even simpler ones like it's a Saturday morning, it's rainy, I'm tired, I've been training every single day without skipping a single day. What's so bad about skipping one day? But instead, you need to tell yourself, no, it's this kind of moments where it matters the most.
Yeah.
Because if you really just take a break in that moment, like, oh, what's so bad about it, right? What's stopping you from taking another break in the future?
Correct.
So in those moments where you like physically, emotionally, like don't want to do it, if you have your mind set on a goal and you really want to achieve it, then you got to overcome that moment and just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
That's great. Yes, absolutely. And I can see how it benefited you probably from content creation because you
Yeah.
said you started out 3 posts a week or something, and then you started doing every single day. So it's
Yeah.
just like having that muscle memory just in a different way.
Yeah, like I had a goal that I wanted to grow my business. I wanted to hit a certain amount of revenue. I wanted to hit a certain amount of followers. And the only way to get there was to grow my social media. And how I had to do it was to post more.
Yeah.
So I just posted every single day. Some days I even posted more than once. But
Yeah.
it was like a non-negotiable. I can't break my streak. So I posted every single day for 365 days.
Wow.
And I actually broke my streak one time. And it was like already 1 month plus into it. But then I told myself, no, I can't just skip this one day. I'll restart the count. So I restarted the count back to 0 and I counted it again to 365. No one knew that I broke the streak, but it was something that I held over to myself.
Yeah, if you know inside yourself.
Yeah.
And that's that integrity.
If not, it'll always be a lie that I posted every single day.
Okay, well, that's good. So verified, everyone. He restarted the counter, okay?
Yes.
We can say that. So is there a potential brand or somebody you would love to collaborate with, or even somebody who's inspiring to you?
I think that would have to be doodles. So I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but
Yeah.
basically they create pimple patches. So they are like known for their cute pimple patches. And I think why I'm like so inspired by them is because I do like kind of see my business being pretty similar to what they're doing. They are in the pimple patch industry, but if you think about it, pimple patches are like stickers, but for your face, your skin. And mine is like stickers for your belongings and all that. So there's like that overlap there. And they also like inspired me because during my early few months into boothing, I was having a booth at a store called Curbside Crafters. And it was also when Taylor Swift came to Singapore for a concert.
Right.
So Dodo Dots have this practice of giving out free pimple patches, like samples to all the concert goers, like those queuing up and all that. So they did that practice at the Taylor Swift concert. And my booth location was quite near to the concert hall, which was at Stadium. So after the concert, they actually came over to this booth art event. And there was a bracelet exchange, bracelet making event upstairs. And I was at level 1 near the entrance. So I think one of their members in their Dodo Dots team from Singapore side, they already knew about me. So when they came, they went straight to my booth and then they brought the founders, Ethan and Esther, over and they started to see my stickers. And after they did what they had to do at the bracelet exchange making thing, they came back down and then we chatted for 2 to 3 hours because the founders were also waiting for the other members to go up and do the bracelets. And they really motivated me because when they spoke to me, I was already posting videos every single day, but I think I haven't hit that viral video moment yet. And after meeting them, I felt so motivated. And a few months later, as I was posting consistently, they actually DM'd me again and they said, we would encourage you to post these videos on TikTok as well. So because they are brand viral on TikTok,
Yeah.
I was only posting on Instagram back then. I didn't have TikTok yet. They told me just post your videos that you're posting on Instagram onto TikTok as well.
Yeah.
No harm, right?
There's
I'm
no
like,
harm.
yeah, so I did that. And then I got like a viral video after that, which blew up on TikTok first, then on Instagram. So they definitely play a huge role in like my content creation journey.
Wow, that's
And
wonderful.
yeah, we have been like staying in touch online. And yeah, recently I went to KL and I met up with them and they showed me around their warehouse facilities. They showed me how their operations go and all that. So yeah, I think it would be really cool if I could collaborate with them.
That would be cool. And we are wishing you luck. If it
Thank
never
you.
comes through, you let us know. I started posting on TikTok, and that was the place where I first went viral. And then I brought everything over to Instagram. But it's interesting because I'd always heard that TikTok was just like dancing stuff. So I thought, like, what's the point in posting here? And
I think TikTok has like also evolved across the years.
it has.
Yeah, like before that it was really about trends and dance and all that thing. But there was slowly like more businesses hopping onto it, more content creators from other industries. And then there's like now so much more value on being on TikTok. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. So you were mentioning that you're Christian. How has that helped you in your business and doing what you do?
I think being a Christian, it also helped me to learn that yeah, we're all human and we can't control everything even though we want to. It's human nature. At the end of the day, especially in business, there's so many like unpredictable moments. So it's really stressful if you try to control everything. And it's much less stressful if you just like leave it to God to handle it and just trust and have faith that whatever happens is according to his plan. Even if something that you think is like, this is like such an inconvenience, it's a challenge, why did God let this happen? Maybe it's to teach you a lesson, to help you in a future thing. So yeah, I think it definitely helps that being a Christian also comes with like this kind of mindset as well.
There's always some deeper meaning behind it.
Yeah.
I like that. Yes. I think having those beliefs to me sound like it'd be very beneficial, especially in a business sense and in a life sense, because then you don't get hung up on every little thing. You realize that there's some sort of coordinated guidance for most everything that's occurring.
Because being a Christian, it's not really just like a label that you put on yourself and then, oh, okay, you're saved and everything already. It's more of like actively trying to live that life of a Christian. So definitely there'll be times where I struggle to live the Christian life, where I face doubt and like wanting to control everything. So definitely I think everyone will have that moment. Doesn't mean you're a Christian means you won't have that. But I think what sets a Christian and a non-Christian apart is that the Christian makes the effort to want to live the Christian life. And they only can go about knowing what the Christian life is like if they are in a Christian community, they are reading the Bible, the God's word, and yeah, like going to church and all that. So yeah, I think that's also like important, an important aspect of being a Christian.
Yeah, I can see that. And you were mentioning community. How is the community, and especially I'm assuming it's your church community, is your fellowship in that sense. How have you found they have reacted, or has there been support, any naysayers or anything? But how have you found that in moving forward?
Generally in the Christian community, it might be a different experience for everybody. Personally, I think mine has been more of like the positive side. But I've also heard like experiences from people not wanting to be a Christian anymore because they were hurt by the Christian community. And ultimately, like I mentioned, I think just because you're Christian doesn't mean you won't face these challenges. That's not true. And within that Christian community, there's a portion of people who are also facing those struggles,
Yeah.
and those struggles might become like unintentionally directed to you,
Yeah.
and then you get the negative side of this whole experience. Then
Yes.
yeah, it's like a very sour feeling.
It is.
But yeah, I think accepting that fact that everyone is not perfect, just because they're Christian, you're not gonna be perfect.
Right.
I think that opens a much more accepting kind of mindset when you are becoming Christian, or you start knowing friends that are Christian.
Yeah. I think so. I think so. But in general, I find that most people don't actually have a community or
Mm.
to go to and to be surrounded in.
Yep.
And that, there's a lot of studies out there that talk about having that community being something that's very beneficial for either, getting through hardship, emotional regulation, even though,
Yeah. As you mentioned about community, right? That is one of my struggles also, because as I'm running a business, it gets really busy. It becomes really easy to get closed off,
yeah,
and you don't spend as much time engaging with the Christian community,
right,
because a lot of these hangouts, they could come off as like, oh, you're just having fun, you're being lazy, you're not doing your business things. And sometimes it lingers in my mind that like, oh, I'm busy with this project. I don't want to just go and hang out with my friends.
right,
I'd rather do the business work. But there's also that importance of segregating that time, because if you keep on closing yourself off, you become quite gated away from the community.
right.
So recently I've been reading this book. It's like a Christian related book. It's called The Art of Rest.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like showing the importance of what rest is, because in the Bible it also mentions the Sabbath, right? I think that's like a term that a lot of people actually know, like this is my Sabbath, like this is my rest day, right? So I think what the book mentions about the Sabbath is it's not necessarily about like, oh, I'm cutting out any work, I'm not gonna do anything. It's not that. It's kind of um ensuring that you have that one day where you are going to intentionally make time for God.
Yeah,
Like you need to make time for God every day, but it definitely helps if you have that one day every week set aside. Yeah, because for example, engaging with the church community, like church is on Sunday.
yeah,
After church, I wouldn't go about doing all my business work. I would set aside time to hang out with like my Bible study group. If they're gonna get like lunch or dinner, I go and meet them for lunch and dinner. Like I really try to keep Sunday as my day of rest to
yeah.
also like hang out with the Christian community and all that.
That's great. Well, I encourage you and I hope that you do.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Go.
really tough sometimes.
It's tough. I'm not here to guilt anyone, but yeah, I think having that community sometimes actually makes your business better,
Mm.
because I found that myself, the times when I was doing the most and running the most, I was actually being depleted because I wasn't giving myself a Sabbath. Just being and finding a like-minded community and people who are encouraging and uplifting, just being around that for a little while
Mm.
could send me on my way and doing well for the rest of the week. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's one thing I could see as being very beneficial, having that
Mm.
that regular commitment. My next question would be, do you feel that like you're ahead of your peers in a sense? Like, I see that many of the 21-year-olds that I know, they're either going to NS or they're just taking on part-time jobs or just in uni, still studying, maybe even having fun. Do you feel that you've already like you're doing something a 30 or 40-year-old would be doing?
I think I'm really blessed to be able to find like this calling to like start a sticker business earlier in my youth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. But in terms of like maybe exploring creativity or that, maybe I'm like slightly ahead of my peers. But I think there's like other aspects of life that I'm still like a regular 21-year-old trying to figure out life also.
That's
It's just maybe I've like started exploring a little bit earlier. And I think like I mentioned about I think being an athlete also kind of helped because it kind of helped me like overcome whatever fear and just do it mentality.
Mm.
But yeah, actually I do have peers that are also interested in like starting a small business. I definitely try to convince them like, hey, just start, bro, just start. And a lot of them have this fear of like content creation. They don't want to show their face on camera. I would tell them, then the next best thing is probably voiceovers, and then they would probably go about doing that. But I think the biggest challenge that I see in like my peers who are wanting to start a business is actually started because I think I myself included, I had this perfectionist mentality that if I start a business, I want everything to be perfect. But I think it was only when I realized that even when I start, I'm going to realize that there's things that I can do better. So just start and then you figure out along the way.
That's very wise that you have that understanding, because really the best teacher is a lot of times mistakes.
Yeah.
So, what's the biggest sacrifice you feel you've had to make to do what you're doing now?
To answer this question, I can't really answer in a sense of what I'm doing now because, like I said, I kind of treat it as the replacement of me doing a sport. So in terms of time commitment and all that, it's almost like the same as the sport. Sport, I'm also putting in a lot of hours after school, just as now it's the business. But this whole mindset shift and like me having to sacrifice something, it started when I was 15 years old when I joined the national team. So it was definitely sacrificing social life more because before I joined the team, I got to hang out with my friends a lot. I got to eat whatever I want, all that kind of thing. But when I became an athlete, I had to, have a lot of like restrictions.
Yeah.
And it's all for the sacrifice of looking towards a bigger goal of like, at that time I wanted to be an Olympian. And, I guess that's not my calling because now I wasn't an Olympian, but now I'm doing this business instead. And yeah, and when I started this business, I already kind of like sacrificed my social life from being an athlete. So it wasn't really a huge change when I did this business. But there's still something that you could say I'm like sacrificing now, which is like social life and work-life balance in a sense, because running this kind of business, there's no like fixed hours. There's no really like one person managing me and setting the hours for me. Everything is like decided by myself. When I'm at home, I get an email, I look at it, that's really like kind of like seeping into my personal time, but I'm doing the business work. Yeah. Work-life balance is a challenge, but definitely it helped when I got my own like storage unit as like my office space. So at least like physical environment wise, there's that segregation.
Yeah, that's a good answer. So I know that you have mentioned you're going to NS, and
Yeah.
I don't think you're worried about NS itself because you're an athlete already. But in terms of your business, because this has been something that you've built over years, you put a lot of effort, energy into it. Is it something that gives you any apprehension, concerns, worries? And if so, are there things that you've put into place to prepare yourself, for that 2-year challenge?
I think definitely like when I enter into NS, I gotta be hands off the business because I need to focus on serving the country in army. Currently, I'm still like working on the systems to put into place. It's definitely one of the bigger challenges that I'm facing now. And it definitely helped that when I went to KL to meet the dots, I was able to, talk to them about these challenges as well. They gave me some words of advice and some possible areas that I'm like currently exploring is, working with fulfillment centers so that the orders can still be fulfilled as I'm in the army. Paperwork side where the business can't be under my name anymore. It's got to be like registered to my family. So yeah, dchtoons is going to be like family business while I'm in army. So that's also a lot of the systems that I got to put into place. There's still definitely going to be a lot of areas that I can't foresee at the moment. There will definitely be hiccups that arise while I'm in NS. So, I'm like I said, I can't control everything. I just gotta like leave it to God and all that, like it will work out somehow.
Okay. That's a good attitude to
Yeah.
take. Yeah. And good luck. I hope that you're able to get the things you
Thank
need
you.
to in place
Yeah.
before that. Looking back on your entire journey so far, do you have one specific moment that you feel most proud of or something that warms you up when you think about it still?
I think there have been many great moments, like the career ladder, meeting dots, getting many viral videos. But I think the one moment that I could say that to this day warms my heart is the memory of my first in-person pop-up booth. Yeah, because that was my first time of being quite vulnerable, of being there, showing my art to strangers, being there in person. At that time, I was pretty introverted. I didn't know how to approach a customer, but seeing my art itself, like I just left it on the table. I didn't even have a fancy display. I just put the stickers on the table, and random strangers, customers will come over, point at it, bring their friends and family along, like, hey, look at this, so funny. Hey, what, this totally me. Like all of those kind of emotions and that whole experience till this day warms my heart. And that's one of the reasons why I still do booths. I always try to set aside some time to take part in these art markets because that's when I can engage with my community in person.
I think it's important, and I think it's a good thing that you do make time for your community in that way. Okay, so the elephant in the room, and you probably know what I'm going to talk about here, is AI.
Yeah.
You're an artist and you hand draw all of these things. But what are your thoughts and feelings on AI? Because a lot of people now can just go online and say, give me a cartoon of a pigeon, and it's generated.
Yeah. With AI always like advancing and a lot of people like generating AI art, and definitely it's probably like a source of concern for people who want to go into like starting an art business, like even like a sticker business like this. I think personally, I think that there'll always be a market for people that appreciate human-made art because art in itself, it's a little bit more emotional. So there's a lot of like thought put behind the art. When you see like the artist, the creator behind it, you're more inclined to want to buy it. But I think something that AI is like probably going to replace is the very like commercial aspect where that audience is probably not looking at that emotional kind of connection. They just want something that works maybe. So I think that's why with the rise of AI, it also requires all these artists to adapt as well, in the sense that they must know how to do storytelling. Maybe a few years back, you could still go by creating nice art. But now if you're unable to tell a story, then you'll be not noticed by people. So as AI is adapting, we also need to adapt. And I think there's always gonna be a market for people who appreciate like authentic art by humans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
It's also worth knowing that not everyone is going to be your audience. So those people who like the AI art more, they are going to purchase the AI art. You don't think of it as like, oh, it's a lost customer. It's just not your audience.
It's just not your audience.
Yeah, you are going to find your own audience.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Mm.
Yeah. What is the most important lesson that you wish you knew when you were younger, or something that you could tell others?
I think it would be not be so afraid of failing. I was really afraid to take risks when I was just starting on my business. And when I say risk, it's not like reckless kind of risk, even calculated risk, like risk that made sense. For example, even purchasing my next booth. Let's say I've already done like maybe 5 booths and they're all profitable. When I was starting out, paying rental for the 6th booth, I would still be really scared because I'm like, I've already made all these earnings. What if this 6th booth that is so expensive, all my earnings just like get depleted because of the rental? But it is calculated because I've been profiting from all these other art markets. It has a similar audience. This one is just slightly more expensive, but the location is better for example. So these are like calculated risks. And I think being not so afraid to take those risks is something that I would tell my younger self when I first started a business, or even anyone who is planning to start business. But yeah, just make sure you calculate those risks. Yeah.
Okay. That's very good advice. And I think I've been hearing this advice a lot from you, that don't be afraid, just do it. Did you ever meet anybody who didn't take you seriously as like a business owner because of your age?
And when I first started the sticker business, I was 18 years old. So most people aren't gonna like take me seriously, especially like brands that I work with. But I think it definitely helps that when you are going on a call, you are speaking confidently, you understand all of those jargon that they're saying. Like you gotta like outwork that bias of being 18 years old, being too young, with the knowledge that you know. Because if they speak to me and they feel like, oh, I don't feel like I'm talking to an 18-year-old, then definitely they are less likely to treat me like an 18-year-old. But of course, if you are 18 years old and you haven't done the work, you are still like very new to it, then they are going to treat you like an 18-year-old because you haven't done the work to like prove that you are not just an 18-year-old.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I hope my son is like that when he's 18. So to end this, I'm curious to know, if you were to meet somebody who's either your age, a bit younger, can even be a bit older too, who wants to start a business and they don't even know where to begin, what would be your advice?
I would tell them that it's that barrier to start a business is not that big as you think it might be, especially in this day and age where so many resources are available online. Like even years back before AI was a thing, it was already so accessible. Now you have AI also. So before that, I was already like self-learning skills from YouTube, LinkedIn Learning, all that. And in terms of like capital, I learned these skills for free on YouTube to do graphic design. Graphic design services made me some money, and those money I could use it for my business. So it all even started from just a free resource. And even so, I didn't even dare to hold inventory, but that wasn't a problem because I could also do pre-orders. So there's a lot of these barriers to entry that isn't really there if you really think about it. There's always ways to go about it in this day and age. So yeah, just don't be so afraid, just start.
I love it. Okay. And thank you so much. I think you've given us a lot of wisdom, a lot of insight, and we've had fun looking at these stickers as well.
There's bubble tea thing and pizza thing. Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah. And I do hope you will continue drawing and creating and expressing all of that humor and dark humor as well. Thank you again for coming on, and we wish you all the best. Bye-bye, everyone.